I think it's really Jeff trying to get the 18 car Kyle Busch up out of the way.
Pushing on that left side again.
Yeah, he's just working on him, Michael. Kyle was blocking, and Jeff was trying to get him loose and get him up out of the way, and he just got on the left side and spun him out.
Look at the job Ambrose and Boyer did coming through there. And there's our buddy old Brad Keselowski. We ain't seen him up front all night. He's fixing to restart with a chance to win this baby.
Yeah, I asked Larry, I said, is Brad Keselowski in this race?
Well, yeah. Jeff Gordon's car went about 1,000 feet on the driver's door before it barrel rolled to a stop.
Yeah, Brad Keselowski in that too. He's in that backup car.
You see Jeff down there. He just gets down on his left corner, and we've seen that time and time and time again.
You got to stay off the left side. What do we do about that, though, man? How do we fix it? The drivers just have to make the decision that they've got to lay off that left side.
Look at this long slide for Gordon. And that's Kurt Busch tangled up with him and Jimmy Johnson. And that car still hasn't lost much of its momentum as it goes side over side and comes to rest
Michael
on
made
its roof.
A really good point, though, Mike. These cars are so much bigger than the cars were 5 years ago with the safety innovation.
21 up high with Brad Keselowski behind.
He's flanked off that right-hand side.
Off the corner, the car got light exactly like I was talking about. Man, it went over too. I was right. Dang it. A lot of good cars.
Denny Hamlin with a spin there, not sure how much damage. Kyle Busch, 24 of William Byron. They're both going to get swept up in this.
Oh.
Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell gets into Burton. And that's a long slide on the asphalt into the safer barrier, hard for Byron.
Half in front, tight out the back, tight in front, all the way, wrecking here, wrecking.
Oh, man.
Just rolling it if you can, just lock it down, let them come under you.
That's Rudd on the bottom in the black car.
Bobby Labonte in the green car on the outside gets touched right there. You see him get crossed up and across into Rudd, turns him sideways. See Sterling Marlin, he makes evasive action there. He was also involved in that.
And all three drivers are now just passengers.
Here it is again. Looks like the 40 car got into the 18 maybe a little bit and shot him towards the wall.
And the two drivers that got the worst of it, Ned, Rudd, and Schrader, had no place to go. Weren't even part of the start of it.
Yes.
Now, you could see the car of Sterling Marlin moving up the racetrack. A lot of times you'll get an arrow push off that corner up there. I'm sure he didn't mean to touch Bobby Labonte, but when he touched him, that just started the whole series. And of course, Ricky, he was just along for the ride once he got touched.
These Winston Cup cars have several hundred feet of steel tubing in them. Here's what Ricky Rudd saw.
Thank you for the booth.
Tony Stewart. Wow. Through a cloud of smoke and on to the finish.
At Daytona, the Funkaway Chevy was solid.
And I would say right there, I mean, as soon as he gets upside down, from a safety perspective, even though we didn't see the lights, you're thinking caution. I think Allgaier's got a chance here. And who knows how quick they were to rule it and hit the button.
What is it, the lights?
It's not the lights.
Oh, okay.
It is when they hit the button. So the lights are a nice gauge.
Yeah.
But the reality is the caution could have come out before that for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what they say about the 7 and the 20. You know, it's kind of like they moved down together. That's going to be interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah, and I guess I'm saying 7 because I'm taking the 20 out of the equation just because he was below the double yellow line. But as you said, maybe NASCAR says
he got forced.
He's forced down there, and we're not going to
I'm sure he's
enforce the rules.
Oh, he obviously said he got forced down there.
He's team forced. It's a crazy finish.
Luckily, that one didn't flip like Maya Snyder did last year and catch the fence. Unfortunately, he flipped, but I'm happy he didn't catch anything.
How many times, though, do you see the grass grab one of these vehicles and send it out of control? Here, the grass actually caught him and flipped him back onto all 4 tires. You know, the other thing we're so fortunate of, he's at the front of the pack, gets upside down, the pack's coming through, and no one cleans him out. That's where it gets, so scary in those situations.
Good heads up driving by everybody.
Yeah.
Sparks flying everywhere right here.
Yeah, watch when he gets to the grass, and then right in here, it's going to catch it and send him back over.
His position when this incident took place.
Okay, there's Buddy Baker down on the inside of him, and Buddy touches him. Buddy Baker does indeed touch Rick Mast, gets him sideways. There's Mark Martin right behind him. And you see when he comes down off of that banking, the air gets under it. That left a big space there that the air could get under it, flip him up on the roof. There's Joe Ruttman coming up on him. He slides up to the high side of the racetrack on his roof, touches the outside wall, slams into there, and Rick, he said, "Where am I?" He's got to wonder where in the world he is. And then he just slides all the way down the track for several hundred yards. And the safety crew is there with him now as we see his car continue to slide down off of the racetrack. Fortunately, everybody else got by, did not hit him.
This incident taking place at lap 165, 23 laps to go. Rick Mast, a contender to win it all, comes up in a serious incident as he and Buddy Baker tangled on the 18-degree tri-oval here at Talladega, Alabama.
Coming off of turn 2 onto the back straightaway. Oh, yeah, you can just see, looks like the 38 goes up the racetrack, makes contact with the 24 Byron. And that sends Jeffrey Earnhardt and Kyle Larson. Look at the air get under the right rear of the 42.
Wow.
Heavy contact with that right front. Left front.
That safer barrier was there. Thank goodness for that. But watch this thing. Once it starts flipping, it's like a feather. It just won't stop.
It looks like the 38 of Reagan just, I don't know if he gets loose or something. Obviously the car wasn't in the racetrack right there, sending him up the racetrack.
Wow.
Pretty lucky right there. William Byron didn't go upside down as you saw the car get up off the ground and then settle back down, but that was not the case for the 42 of Larson.
That's a ride, buddy.
Yeah, this is after they took the white flag right here. You just saw David Reagan just, he came up the racetrack, lost some control of the car, maybe with the front, got into the side of the 24 of Byron, started all this mess and sent the 42 of Larson into that inside wall and flipping.
One right in the middle row in the front.
Nemechek just starts coming down. Looks like he's trying to get down in front of Denny Hamlin in the 20 car, and they just didn't have enough room.
And that's what Hamlin was trying to explain to Casey Mears. He kept using that chopping motion with his right hand.
Exactly.
Explaining that Nemechek came down in front of him and turned him.
And forced him into Casey Mears.
Yeah, unless the replay shows us different, it definitely looked like Joe Nemechek just did not have Denny Hamlin cleared. Hamlin in the 20 just kept going down. There was nowhere else to go except into Casey Mears.
See Joe up on the outside there in the 87 car.
Look at the white lines. See Joe move over.
Yeah. He just was trying to, I think he thought he had him cleared. Spotter may have even told him he was clear. Boy, that 38 car, Casey Mears, it took a ride right there. Stayed on its lid, didn't start tumbling. That's one good thing.
And the good thing, Darrell, I never saw a car hit him after he was on his roof sliding.
Saw David Green involved. This is from Kevin Harvick.
actually has quite a bit of damage right in the center of the nose.
Keep going, you all right?
Yeah, if he didn't bust a radiator, they might.
Yeah, we need a radiator, boys.
I think that answered that.
From David Stremmy's car.
That's amazing.
He's one of the lucky ones, Stremmy.
Well, Darrell, a 737 will, of course, it's designed to take off, but it will take off at, what, 160 some miles an hour. These cars are running 185, and the roof flaps do their job to keep that car from getting way up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, that all happened so fast, I don't think the roof flaps ever even had a chance.
No, 71, Kevin LePage involved. We did not count him as being part of this.
Wow.
Man.
Coming off turn number 2. See, Dennis is going to get in the back of Chad. You see Chad, it pushes him a little bit sideways. Then Dennis actually turns him around after Chad comes back to the bottom of the racetrack, and way up in the air he goes.
Here comes Terry Cook joining him for a slide through the grass.
It's like Robert Huffman might have gotten the back of Terry Cook. I see some damage to the front of that truck.
Oh, and it was a pileup behind him.
Yeah, once that bump drafting started going crazy, then they just bunched up from behind. Rudeman had nowhere to go, bumped into the 46. Just a good idea gone bad when the bump drafting that they were doing on the back straightaway knocked the 30 truck sideways.
Right along with Dennis.
Here he is. Bang, just hit him and got it wiggling. Now, I bet you Dennis has hit somebody like that all night long and the truck never moved. You know, you don't know which way Chad had his wheels pointed, and Dennis must have hit him right at the wrong time. Dennis would never do something like that unless he had it calculated out, and for some reason it went wrong.
It looked like he hit him pretty square, but you know, these trucks are pretty light in the rear end right now. A lot of these trucks are complaining about being loose, but just slow motion here. You see, he looks like he hits him pretty square, but it looks like his bumper rides up underneath the back bumper of Chad Chaffin, and that may be why it turned him around. It might have picked the rear wheels off the ground, Michael. And then all 4 wheels were off the ground.
Yeah, it definitely eventually picked them off, didn't it?
He hit that left front very hard, so they're still checking on the suspension of that one. We're under caution because of a wild ride that Chad Chaffin had. Take a look at the number 30.
Just a couple of laps from having a shot at winning at Daytona, and then wound up flipping out.
Lick like that. We're seeing Matt's in second place right here behind Ryan Newman. See what happens. He goes to block.
Comes back in line. It looks like he may get a tap. Yeah, he gets a tap from David Reagan.
Yep.
Car gets out of shape and then just pirouettes on its left side and goes over.
And we talk about the bump drafting has to be done on the straightaway, and you can see even on the straightaway, if you get hit too hard, it just takes the steering wheel out of your hands as a driver.
This was the scary part right here when he's on his roof for so long. Looked for a minute like he might save it, but then got down there. Golly, this is tough.
Yeah, and Matt really did a great job. If he goes up in front, he takes out 15 or 18 cars, so he did a great job of not creating that situation.
Let's see what Dale Earnhardt Jr. saw here as the contact took place right in front of him.
So everybody jockeying for position here. Oh, Matt gets a shove.
3 wide, 3 wide. 3 wide,
on the left rear of the 18.
Wrecking down low. You're clear right there. Clear all around. They wreck behind you.
John West Townley going by. You see, he sees Kenseth's car just rolling over side by side.
And you could see in that last shot from Dale Jr.'s that it literally lifted the back of the car off the ground whenever David Reagan.
Yeah, you see the back end come off the ground on the 16. There's just no way to control that. It's a strange way to see one flip. You don't normally see them do that.
No, but these cars have a liftoff point of getting off the ground of about 170 miles an hour, and no matter even with all these safety innovations that NASCAR has put into these cars, these cars get in that right situation or wrong situation.
They have to get in the perfect spot. Yeah.
Second time in 3 years we've seen a car go on its roof here. 2 years ago it was Kyle Busch who had a violent rollover down the back straightaway.